and each in his own way must pay homage to that power, and each out of his own struggles, his own labors, and his own works must build a temple which is to be the dwelling place of that one power. So each individual is building his own sanctuary through purification, through discipline, through service, and through all those things which make life real. Now in our present day, looking around, doesn't look very much like this is getting along very well. There's nothing but problems, nothing but sorrows, nothing but difficulties. But I think we all notice, that in the last few years these difficulties are beginning to create legitimate questions. They are the first step in the realization that these difficulties can never cease until we cure them. We have been waiting for something else to cure them. We have been waiting for the angels to come down and take away our misfortunes. We have tried to escape through everything from cursing to praying, but the problems still remain. And they will remain until we recognize the real answer. We are worried about nuclear fission. We are worried about various types of restriction and limitation of growth. We are worried about the earth getting tired, of the petroleum resources going out. We don't know what to do with our waste and garbage. All these things are problems, and we are all a little bit dazed by them. But the reason we are dazed is very simple. We want to solve all these problems, and we need to, but we want to do it without making any change in our basic attitude toward life. We wish to remain highly competitive people. We wish to place wealth above every other consideration. We want to honor those who dishonor us. We want to do everything that we always have done without interference of law or order. We want to be happy, but we do not want to change. And yet our attitudes and our conducts are why we are unhappy. Now, there's supposed to be some kind of a scientific discovery coming along that will solve all this. I remember when there was great talk about the automobile that was going to solve and end forever cruelty to horses. Well, it didn't exactly work out as it was intended. But we are always in the presence of some kind of a repair. But we do not recognize that we cannot cure this physical problem from the level of the problem. We cannot cure war by simply fighting war. We cannot get war out of the physical world unless we do something to change the physical world, either in nature or in ourselves. We cannot get better without becoming a little bit more virtuous. So in this problem and struggle, we have to face that this mysterious circular diagram with the 7 circles represents not only the cycle of growth, but it represents the level of problems that have to be overcome one by one. But there can be no problem overcome unless the cause of it is outgrown. And it is outgrown not by ages of suffering, but by proper intelligent education. We have to be taught the laws of life. We have to be taught the ways of living. And we should start with young people. Our ancestors, with a simple faith in God, and with children who obeyed, in principle at least, the simple ways of their ancestors, the problem was not very serious. But now it is becoming the proof that infirmities build up, corruptions multiply, and we have come to a time where we have simply gone too far in the ignoring of value. And we cannot do this indefinitely. Socialized states are beginning to discover they cannot handle their own states unless they are able to do something ethical or religious to enlighten and hold the attention of people to self-improvement or national or world improvement. We cannot keep on breaking the rules and enjoying the joys of a good life. So as we sit down trying to study this a little bit, why don't we just also look back a little? Read something that Paracelsus wrote. Read something of Neoplatonism or Gnosticism. Read something of Buddhism. H.G. Wells said that Buddhism was probably the most important moral doctrine the world ever had. And the Buddhist philosophy of life is very, very simple. Serve the good. Refrain from evil. Purify the mind. This was the basis of that entire religion which moved at one time across the face of Asia. We are all now looking to find out how to improve the present situation. And the first thing we have to do is to put together all the analogies, all of the overwhelming parallels that we can see in every level of life, and from these get a new vision of law and find out that we are in a universe of law and order, and that we are the ones that are out of order. And until we correct this condition, there will be no permanent improvement. That's it.